Hello, welcome to TTales. This week we have a story from a fan. It's called The Bunker Story. The rain tapped against the window, a steady rhythm in the quiet house. Sophia sat curled up on the couch, half watching the flickering TV screen. The news anchor droned on about international tensions, military buildups, and threats of war. It was all background noise. The world was always on the brink of something: collapse, war, disaster, but nothing ever really happened. Until the broadcast cut out. A loud, shrill beep filled the room. A bright red banner flashed across the screen. "This is an emergency alert. Take shelter immediately. This is not a drill." Sophia's breath hitched. She waited for more. Nothing. No voice, no explanation. Just that terrifying message. Her phone had no signal. The screen remained frozen. Then the fear hit. She bolted to the back door, flung it open, and ran into the yard. The cold rain soaked through her clothes as she reached the small hatch near the fence, the entrance to the bunker. Her father had built it in the 1970s, convinced nuclear war was inevitable. She had mocked his paranoia. Now she thanked him for it. The metal door groaned as she yanked it open. She climbed down the ladder and pulled it shut behind her. The heavy latch clicked into place. Safe. The bunker was small but well-stocked. Shelves lined the walls, stacked with canned food and bottled water. A single cot sat in the corner. A dim, fluorescent light buzzed overhead. Sophia dropped onto the cot, shivering. Her mind raced. Was this real? Had the world finally tipped over the edge? She switched on the old battery-powered radio her father had left behind. Static. No voices, no emergency broadcast. Just a hollow, endless hiss. Time blurred. Days and nights dissolved into a fog of rationed meals and fitful sleep. The radio never changed, only static. Each time she closed her eyes, she imagined sounds from above. Explosions, footsteps, distant screams. But when she strained to listen, there was nothing. The silence became its own kind of horror. She tried to remember the last time she'd spoken to another person. The cashier at the grocery store, her neighbors. Were they still out there? Or had they vanished in an instant, wiped away by something unseen? By the 15th night, she'd stopped hoping for answers. Then she heard it, a noise, a soft scraping against the hatch above. Sophia froze. Her breath quickened, too loud in the stillness. Another noise, a knock. Faint but deliberate. Someone was out there. Her heart pounded. Who? What? She reached for the gun. Her father's old revolver. She had never fired it before, had never wanted to, but her fingers wrapped around the cold metal, slick with sweat. The handle of the hatch rattled. A chill ran through her. Was someone trying to get in? No one else should be alive. The latch moved again. She raised the gun. Her hands trembled as she pulled the trigger. The gunshot thundered through the bunker. The sound was deafening, but outside, silence. Sophia sat frozen, the gun still in her grip. She didn't sleep. She barely moved. The air grew heavy, suffocating. When morning came, the silence broke. Sirens, loud, close. A voice boomed from above. "Open the door and come out with your hands up! Police! Do it now!" Her breath came in shallow gasps. Why were they here? Wasn't the world gone? She stumbled to the hatch, fingers shaking as she tried to unlock it. It wouldn't budge. Another voice. "Stand back!" A blast ripped through the air. The door flew open, and smoke and dust poured inside. Coughing, blinded, she felt hands grab her and drag her upward. Daylight pierced her eyes. The sky was clear, blue, no ash, no fire. She barely had time to process the scene before she was shoved to the ground, her wrists clamped in cold metal. Handcuffs. She blinked against the sunlight, trying to make sense of it all. Officers in dark uniforms surrounded her. Beyond them, a crowd of curious faces. Then she saw him, the body. A man lay crumpled near the entrance of the bunker. His clothes were torn, his face pale and gaunt. Not a soldier, not an invader, a homeless man. Sophia's stomach dropped. He had been knocking. He had been trying to get inside. Maybe to escape the rain, maybe just looking for shelter. And she had killed him. The truth cut through her panic like a blade. There was no war, no apocalypse, no invisible enemy. It had just been her, alone, waiting for something that never came. And now, nothing would ever be the same again. Thanks for listening to this story. I hope to see you next week. Take care.